can hear the rain beating on the roof above. It's a rainy night. Perfect time for having a peated Scotch whiskey from the island of Islay. I have here a Scarabus single malt. And this is not just a Scarabus single malt, it's batch strength at 57% ABV, 70 centiliters. And here we are, the Scarabus. The last time I had a Scarabus, it was bottled at 46%. And that was, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. I'd have to check that. But this is the one I have now. And I got it from Alberta. I ordered it. There's the little thing I was supposed to grab with the remnants of my fingernails. This is not going to be easy. It's a tight one. Okay, I think I got it with the knife. Okay. There we go. Got the little foil off of there. And it's a real cork. A real cork. Yeah. Very real. It's going to be my last whiskey of the night. I've had 3 before this one. And this is going to be powerful stuff. It's got international symbols on the label. Yeah. Batch strength, Scarabus. Okay, now what does it say on here? If it says anything at all. Powerful notes. Oh. Okay, it's from Hunter Lang, product of Scotland. Imported to the European Union by Hunter Lang BV, Johan de Witlan 7, Den Haag, Netherlands. Oh, how did this get to Canada? It was imported to the Netherlands first, or somewhere. Okay, inspired by an alchemy of craft and cask, time, sea, and air, a whiskey for those with a curious mind and an eye for detail, bold and honest about its Islay origins, and just a little mysterious about everything else. Batch strength. Seek shall find. Only those who seek shall find. Okay. And that's a fancy, ornate looking label on there. Fancy and ornate looking label. Batch strength. Huh. Oh, what's it say down here? Okay. I think I've read that already. Great. A rather tall bottle. Yeah. Give it the old anaconda. Oh, sheeting action. Comes down quick, leaves large drops on the top and smaller droplets down to the bottom. Interesting. I'm getting some peat smoke, but it seems to be quite subdued compared to the 50% ABV Sauterne cask matured Kilchoman I just had. Could it be that the high ABV is acting as an anesthetic for my nose? Well, I need to add water. I'm getting a little bit of wood. I'm getting a little bit of peat smoke, yes, but not that much. Not that much. I'm going to let it sit for a moment and tell you what I paid. Okay, Scarabus batch strength single malt, 57% ABV, $59.99. So $60 plus a 10-cent bottle deposit, and then another $3 for the GST. So that would be like $63.09, plus another $12.55 for the shipping. 63, 65, $75 at my local post office. Okay. I'm definitely getting some wood and a bit of smoke. It reminds me of barn board. That gray wood that has been part of a barn for 80 years. I'm not getting much out of this. I would have expected a lot more on the nose. Now the question is, which distillery is it from? It's probably from Kalila. But it really doesn't have a lot of, not much on the nose at all. A little bit of peat smoke. A little bit of dried up fungus, like mushroom. Yeah, there's a bit of peat smoke there, and a bit of barn board, but I'm not getting any of the citrus that I often get from a heavily peated whiskey. And it doesn't say how much it's peated. It doesn't say phenol parts per million or anything like that. It's just, yeah. Okay. I tried to get stuff from the nose, but it didn't come up much. I'm going to have to taste it. Let me cleanse my palate. Yeah, a little bit of wood, a little bit of peat smoke, but there's not much. I think the high ABV is conspiring against this one. Because I recall the last Scarabus I had, which was bottled at 46%, was way more fragrant than this one is. Okay. My first impression is it's astringent. It's really dry. It's really drying and mouth-watering. And then it transitions. And when it transitions, that's where I get a lot more peat smoke. It coats the mouth all over. Still getting nothing on the nose. There's a bit of barbecue. And it's just dry. Just dry. Very little on the nose. Almost nothing. Again, on the palate. Yeah, it's very smoky on the palate. And a little sweet. There's a sweet fruity note in there. It's not a citrus, or maybe, oh, wow, it's strong. I'm going to add some water to it. See what that does to it. Okay. That's about 3/4 of a spoon. It's still raining out there. Raining pretty hard. Nice to have peated whiskey when it's raining hard outside. Still very little on the nose. Almost nothing. The addition of water has made it smoother and has given it more flavor. Oh, yes. Wood. Lots of wood. Lots of peat smoke. A little bit of fruitiness, but not much. Not much. It's mostly smoke and wood. Mm-hmm. Smoke and wood and a lot of smoke, a lot of wood. A lot of wood. And there's a fruity note to it. I think it's like a grapefruit. It is a citrus, but it's more like grapefruit. Um, Grapefruit skin, grapefruit pith. Very interesting. Different. I don't think that I would buy this again, but it's always interesting to try. I got so much more out of the previous whiskey, which was the Kilchoman Sauterne cask matured. It's at 50% ABV. This one's at 57, costing about half the price. And sometimes you get what you pay for. This has a higher ABV naturally, but There's the peat smoke, the wood, the grapefruit pith once again. Well, there is always the possibility that this will open up because it seems to be quite closed, especially on the nose. So with exposure to the elements, well, exposure to oxygen, it may oxidize some and get more flavor. It may open up. But now it's just missing something. Interesting. About 3 hours ago, someone called me and said she would be here in half an hour. She has not showed up. I'm glad that I proceeded with my whiskey tasting instead of waiting. Just waiting aimlessly. If there's one thing that I don't like is when people are flaky. They say they're going to be here in half an hour. I'd stretch it to 45 minutes, even an hour. But 3 hours later, they're not here? Yeah, this one may need some time. Some time to open up. Some time to oxidize. I'm not exactly thrilled by it. But that opinion may change with time. And I'll get back to it if I notice that it has improved. Slancheva.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food quick.
Yeah.